In this video, we will explain how to make an ecomap. An ecomap is a diagram showing the social and personal relationships of an individual. As we make an ecomap, we put the parent or child in the center and visually display the key relationships they have. We talk with parents and children from a strength-based and person-centered perspective, forming a relationship in which we work together to empower the parent or child. The ecomap shows the important nurturing or conflict-laden connections between the family and the world. It demonstrates the flow of resources, or lack thereof. As an assessment tool, an ecomap can be helpful in determining the family's strengths, resources, needs, and deficits. It helps the parents and children to understand the various systems with which they interact, and it gives us the opportunity to encourage them to build upon their network if necessary. For example, we will make an ecomap for Michelle, the author's daughter, a healthy 17-year-old teenager. But before we start with the example, let's explore what resources people usually have. When we think about supports, we can divide them into informal and formal supports. Informal supports are family members and friends, people who don't get paid to be with us. On the other end are formal supports. We think about school, intervention programs, doctors, CPS, and CASA. Formal supports are assigned to work with us. They often get paid to do so. Between the formal and informal supports, there are the institutions we choose to be involved with. Examples are the workplace, clubs, faith organizations, and neighbors. That is where we meet people because we are part of the same group. When we draw an ecomap, we look at all these realms of life to find support for the parent or child. Let's now see what Michelle's ecomap looks like, what formal and informal support she has, what organizations she is part of, and who she is acquainted with at each of these organizations. We start by putting the person we interview in the middle of the paper and add some empty circles to get it started. A good first question to ask is, who is important in your life? Michelle will tell you about her parents, sisters, and boyfriend. When we ask Michelle where she spends most of her time, she will tell you she spends most of her time at school. We can ask her who important teachers are and who she spends time with at school. She has a friend at school she also meets outside of school. A good next question is, what groups, activities, or memberships do you hold or belong to? Michelle will then go into a long conversation that she is an activist and is a member of several activist groups, and who she knows there. That she is a rock climber and who her favorite coach is and who her climbing friends are. She also tells you she goes to church and a church group, but she isn't close with anyone there. Since we cannot put in a person's name for her church activities, we just put church in the circle. This is a place she meets people and could possibly build on her support network. Asking Michelle about her neighbors, she'll tell you that she has a neighbor whom she could contact in case of emergency. Can the parent or youth you interview name an emergency contact? As a last question, we verify if the diagram is complete. Is there anyone missing? Are there any other groups or places you go to during the week? Michelle will tell you that she goes to vision therapy once a week to learn to focus better. Now we have identified whom Michelle spends time with. We'll review what questions we've asked to get here, and then we'll see how she relates to everyone. Here are some questions you may want to ask to build the ecomap. The next step is to explore the quality of these relationships. Relationships might be depicted as close or distant, strong or weak, one-sided or mutual. Michelle loves her parents and thickens the line between herself and her parents. The arrows point both ways as she receives and gives love. She also loves her sisters, her boyfriend, and other friends, and identifies these relationships as reciprocal. Michelle mainly receives energy from her rock climbing coach, her teacher in school, and her vision therapist. So the arrow points towards Michelle, but not the other way. Michelle and her school counselor argue a lot. This relationship is a strenuous one. We put stripes to show the relationship is taxing. The relationship with the neighbors is not very active, but it gives Michelle peace of mind to have someone to go to in case of a fire or other pressing things. The dashed line shows the relationship, although significant, is tenuous. If the parents or youth you interview give a lot of energy to everyone but don't receive much back, there is not a balance and it becomes draining. Or if the interviewee receives mostly energy but is not giving much back, we can likewise be aware of the impacts this could have. As you can see, an ecomap gives you a good overview of the dynamics of someone's relationships. It shows you what groups your individual belongs to, what support they have within each group, and where there is a possibility to grow the support network. It creates a meaningful dialogue between volunteer or caseworker and parent or child. Making an ecomap together will give you the opportunity to gain understanding of the family's social environment and evaluate connections together. We put a date on the map. Over time, relationships will change. If we give Michelle strategies on how to work with her counselor and how to make friends at church, we have empowered her, and maybe next time we make an ecomap with her, it will show. We hope you have enjoyed watching this video. We wish you success in learning more about the children and families you work with. Keep looking for how to reconnect the children with their relatives and other emotional supports. Remember that parents need support as well. Feel free to subscribe to my channel and watch other videos that might be useful for you or your work. Thank you for all you do.